Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we are going to be playing some more historic no ban list, and it is all access, so you don't need to own the cards, just have to select the format as either no ban historic or direct challenge. Put whatever cards you in, you don't need to craft, you can join the event, play for free. Today we are going to be trying out a Intruder Alarm combo in Elves. So Intruder Alarm, 3 mana enchantment that's currently banned. Creatures don't untap during their controller's untap step. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, untap all creatures. So basically, Impervious Perfect for green mana lets you create an elf. That elf comes into play and then untaps all your creatures. So as long as you have any sort of other accelerant, I'm going to actually trim this just a little and play another elf. We will go with... We can go with Stalwart, or we can go Jaspera. Let's go Jaspera. I'd rather have just the accelerants here. But basically, if you get that kind of combination, you can tap untap infinite amount of times and make infinite amount of creatures. If you can play 2 mana sources, you could generate infinite mana. Same with Elvish Archdruid, could keep making more and more mana. With all that mana, you can either pump it into Elvish Warmaster to keep getting +2/+2. You can give +5 power to all your things. Or you can finale for X amount and then just give +XX and trample and haste and kind of win that way there. Collect a company finds you your pieces as well. So we'll give this a shot. Had a lot of success with the mono red Blood Moon deck. I went 10-0. I went 4-0 with Storm. No banless Storm. So all things to kind of keep an eye out, ear out if you want to see. Those are all up on the YouTube. I did do a couple videos going over some deck lists, and we'll try out some stuff. If you have any cool deck lists, drop it in the comments. But we'll see how this one plays out. I'm very curious. The Elves are a little bit susceptible to removal. I originally had Elvish Chorus in this. I played one game earlier to see how it kind of played out. It was a bit slow, but we will go with this. So, and is fairly Thoughtseize proof. Could be Fatal Push, Otherworldly Gaze, so probably Dredge. Could be Reanimator of some sort. Don't love that both my lands happen to be Pain lands. Okay, so it may or may not have a Fatal Push, but I'm ideally going to go Elvish Archdruid on 2. It allows me to have the greatest kind of output afterwards. Botanical's great. So if they don't go, we're going off next turn. Blimps. Okay, so they are the combo with Storm Herald. Intruder Alarm. Okay, so play Intruder Alarm. Untap our Elves. Play Warmaster. Untap our Elves. Play Warmaster. Untap our Elves. You know what? I had to actually float mana in response there. So we then just kind of go off. Cool animation. I've never actually seen that. So we have to be mindful. We have to go into full control because each instance of the elf coming into play, our creatures will untap. So we can actually float mana there. And then I was basically able to just pump my team really big and then kind of attack into there. So that was turn 3 kind of popping off, which is a nice start and showing of the deck. Alright. 2 combo pieces in hand. Well, a combo piece. Kahira, probably control. So I think I'm going to prioritize trying to get Intruder Alarm down. This might be Spell Pierce. Kind of feels bad, but... Oh, this is probably Nexus of Fate. If it's Nexus of Fate, I'm just going to concede because I don't want to play against Nexus of Fate. If we hit a land, we're okay. The Allosaurus Shepherd makes our green spells uncounterable. We could also just Impervious Perfect next turn. If they are Simic, they're likely not going to have a clean way to deal. So I can Elvish Warmaster. That's probably best this turn, and then just set up a Impervious Perfect turn next turn. We'll go to combat first, and then I'll play out my second. This only triggers once per turn. I'll admit, this is the first time I've ever played Historic Elves. I've never, up until this point, I've never cast these cards in Historic. I've cast Elvish Mystics, but... My guess is they have Archmage Charm. And Allosaurus Shepherd laughs in the face of Archmage Charm. Okay, they have Wilderness Wreck here. They could start Nexusing a Fate next turn. Would have loved this last turn. Just would have made my turn a little bit more explosive, but that's 10, 16, so they're dead anyways. Get out of here, Nexus! I think out of any deck I've ever played against, that's the deck I'm most happy doesn't exist anymore. Just because there's technically the small chance they don't actually like find anything, but like they're most likely gonna win, and it's just all around kind of terrible experience. Oof, this hand is pretty ugly. I think I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, this hand looks better. I'm gonna put Allosaurus back. I think my hand's really gonna try to pop off with this finale. Having the Ward Archdruid seems pretty good. That other hand, like, you only want one Allosaurus usually. This hand, regardless, folds to like a turn 1 removal spell. We're really banking on hitting that, so don't Lightning Bolt me. Okay, Sentinel's fine. I'm actually going to hold this Bezeju just incidentally if they're the artifact deck. Swords to Plowshare. And Monkey. Just hold this back. Probably trade with Bragavan here. Or honestly, like... This could be like just red-white kind of mid-range. You might see something like Skyclave Apparition. You stop having Swords to Plowshares. Trade with the Monkey here. This is one of the downsides with Elves. We had the mulligan. That first hand wouldn't have been that much better. And now we're just kind of flooding. We'll probably finale for Leaf Crown Druid. Just take that off. Leaf Crown Druid will at least give us an ability to draw some cards. Could go War Master, but we're probably dead this game. In part because the Arcan's going to stop our Intruder Alarm combo turn. So we'll probably concede this, but... I'm guessing they're on... like 4 Swords, 4 Lightning Bolt, 4 Regiven, 4 Esper Sentinel. Kind of mixed into there. The one like bonus is if they have removal. Oh, they're just Winota again. A lot of Winota tonight. I didn't run into a single Winota today. In like 15 games. And now I was doing like another video. The deck wasn't working. So we scrapped it and I ran into Winota twice. They have some options. See what they pull, but we are most likely dead. They're effectively going to get 2 threats out a turn, where I can only really... like, unless I get Collected Company. That's kind of our only out. We have an 8% chance. Okay, so they named Natural Order. That's not what I'm on. Okay, so there's the Coco. We are going to take a big hit this turn, but hopefully this Coco could potentially get us to the promised land. Winota is regular Winota, so it's each instance. Okay, so that is their card for the turn. We are probably dead. Play! Like, you can't cast spells, you have to attack. It's not that difficult. So they get 1 trigger, the Arcan, this is already human, so that's not going to work. This Winota version is likely just more kind of fair stuff. They are quite diluting the Winota deck, though. They need Collected Company, because of course, they hit all that. Yeah, here. Needed them to just not hit, like the Coco, but... they had 3 pieces of removal into 2 tax effects. The first tax effects was dead, but... our deck is... well, creatures, it's kind of like a... well, an elf ball, if you would. We're trying to cast multiple things a turn. So that one's kind of a rough card to get there. This hand looks good. Opponent goes first. Again, we're kind of banking on this Llanowar Elf, but if we can go Llanowar into Archdruid, we're kind of popping off. Would have loved to be on the play for this one. Okay, see basic island. Okay, well, you know what's really good against basic island? Allosaurus Shepherd. Sequencing wise, you want to do it the other way, but if they're holding up 2 basic islands, that's most likely counterspell. So, we will do this. I'll Coco on their end step, and then hopefully kind of go to town. Can't counter this. Oh, it's pretty weak. Let me cast my spell. add the green here. Needed a little bit better hit off that Coco, but they should be dead next turn. Mono blue doesn't really, unless they're playing like Whelming Wave. Oh, blue white. All right. You can play any lands you want, but Allosaurus Shepherd solo carries that game. I'm assuming opponent had a whole bunch of mana. So you have like the Elves, just fair beatdown. We have the combo element of the deck. There's a few ways, like I said. You can play Natural Order and then just play a Crater Hoof. But I think the combo element's kind of cool. There's ways with Emery and... so we have the combo, so let's try this out. So Emery, Ornithopter, and what's it called? The 3 mana artifact sack add 2 mana. Lets you create infinite mana. Okay, I don't know. You can't play Trickery, so I don't know what opponent was on. But we will take that. It makes you infinite mana. You need a way to like win after that. So I guess like Karn in that deck, you get Staff, and with infinite mana you can draw your deck, but you still need like a win con, and at that point you're already 3 cards into a combo that doesn't, like, just having infinite mana doesn't actually win the game. Sounds very slow. Sounds very bad. Okay, we'll keep this. Get rid of Finale. We probably lost. We'll give it a shot. But double waterlogged against a turn 1 Ragavan, it's not going to do well for us. And they're likely going to have counter spells. Yeah. Well, that's a decent one to have. Probably just gets shocked, though. Lorien's revealed. Does their Delver flip? Of course it does. We'll give it a shot, but I'm most likely done here. Like, there's no way that the last 3 cards in their hand aren't counterspell or removal. How am I drawing nothing but waterlogs? Like, it's actually impressive, the amount of waterlogs. Okay, so if they attack the Intruder alarm at least, blocks them down. I could Coco. They hit me for 5, no blocks. I go Intruder alarm, these don't untap. They could go Intruder alarm. But yeah. Last card Spell Pierce is gonna get you. I mean, if our mana base wasn't... You're playing 20 lands, you draw 3 of your pain lines. Always kind of sucks. I might have too many. I could probably trim down a couple pain lands just for forests to save. How do I always have this waterlog? It's actually incredible. Don't shock me. they probably take Intruder Alarm. That would be my thing. They could take Llanowar Elf. The War Master has the highest upside. They're just Greasefang. I'm just gonna go wide here. They've shown Witherbloom Command. Command can hit some of my cheap stuff. So they found the Greasefang. They haven't found a vehicle yet. We did find Intruder Alarm. Could be decent for the following turn. They're just taking the one there. I can play another Lord next turn. That's probably the way. Like, we're doing this all with one land, which is kind of impressive. Opponent is just drawing Satyr Wayfinders. For Fiends. Arhelion. Alright. Got there. One land, okay. We could have Intrudered Alarmed, but they weren't really attacking, so it didn't make sense to like force that at that point. Do this one more, see how it plays out. All I know is Painlands. Very impressive. Never a basic. 18 lands. Sliver High. Well. Slivers versus Elves. Diffusion Sliver is the target one. I think given this, we're just going to set up for Collected Company. Whenever a sliver you control becomes target of spell or ability, counter it unless your opponent pays 2. Alright. The flying in haste is quite scary. Because it's going to tap my elf. Double War Master. Not a Lord, but makes my board go wide enough that when I drop the Lords next turn, it'll be good. See Mutavault in the mana base there. I have to be somewhat cautious. Because they could die on the crack. They don't know it yet, but I will have 3, 7, 11, 14, 17, so short a couple. Then they could kill me on the crack. But I can't block anyways. And my lands keep hitting me. They disconnect. What's happening, friend? What is happening, friend? Friend, I want to play my turn. Oh, that's unfortunate. Pass through their turn. Finale is a fine thing, I think. Maybe we do also play like the Golgari elf that deals damage. Or even Corda Calling's probably better than Finale, because we can tap all these elves for free. Whereas with this Finale, we always have to spend. So Cord's probably the better option here. Alright, can you kill me? 16 damage. They could go... Actually, they can't go land, because Mutavault doesn't allow them to cast the first sliver. So that actually doesn't work. Alrighty, opponent, come on. Friend. Alright, well we got this one. I think Court of Calling is a card that you can look for, obviously in a field with a lot of lightning bolts and stuff like that. You're always going to run into a little bit of trouble at times, just opponents having kind of removal and stuff, but overall the deck was pretty solid. Elf plan with, like, if your opponent doesn't respect it, you want to stop counterspell decks as well. In any case, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great one. Stay safe there.